It was the end of the spring semester of college, and I realized that I desperately needed a break from American life. I had just finished my finals exams, and I was burnt out, detached from the present moment. So I took a trip back to my village in Africa and learned so many lessons. Here are 7 lessons that my time here has taught me about living a slow and intentional life. So the first lesson is the importance of finding flow and simplicity in your daily routine. In America, I often felt overstimulated, constantly on edge by an endless to-do list. Life in a village, however, revolves around following your intuition and taking care of your basic needs and living in the present moment. Instead of worrying about the future, I focused on what needed to be done today. My days were filled with simple tasks like going to the market for fresh produce, chatting with the other villagers, and watching the sunset, and just being in the present moment. Oh, it's a bird. The second lesson is limiting screen time to uplevel your long-term happiness. I remember I used to always be on my phone, listening to music, and constantly overstimulating my brain. When I lived in a village, no one was on their phone, and I naturally spent less time on my phone as well. After this phone detox, I felt so much happier, and I allowed myself to be bored without constantly distracting myself. I could spend hours just sitting outside and not doing anything, and I realized I had created more space for my thoughts and listening to my inner voice. The people in the village are so happy and content with their daily lives, and I truly believe not being on technology as much is what contributes to it. So the third lesson that I learned was sustainable and minimalistic living. So villagers often use resources more sustainably, growing their own food, using natural materials, and minimizing waste. The fourth lesson is to find time in your day to connect with nature. Villagers usually have a close relationship with the natural environment, relying on it for food, water, and materials. So most of my time was spent outdoors, and I'm telling y'all, I was never in the house. Just being outside in nature allowed me to have clearer thoughts, and it strengthened my intuition. So I was able to listen and trust myself better without the constant noise of the outside world. The fifth lesson is how having community can impact your life satisfaction. Life in a village often emphasizes the importance of having strong communal bonds and support systems. I knew everyone in my village and often spent my days walking around and speaking to different family members. We really value nurturing these connections, whereas in America, it tends to lean more of an individualistic lifestyle just because life gets so busy. The sixth lesson is the importance of having and maintaining a balanced lifestyle. In the village, I experienced a profound sense of balance in my daily routine. Unlike my hectic life in America, where every hour was planned and filled with tasks, life in the village allowed me to embrace a slower pace. I found myself sleeping a lot more and allowing my body to rest until my heart was content. There was no alarm clocks dictating when I should wake up or go to bed. Instead, I just followed my body's natural cues. But in America, the constant demands of work, school, and social obligations leave little to no room for rest. However, in the village, I discovered the importance of listening to my body and giving it the rest it needs. This not only improved my physical health, but also my mental well-being. I felt more energized and focused and at peace. The seventh and most profound lesson that I learned here in the village was the art of patience and contentment. Here in the village, life moved at a much slower pace compared to the fast-paced, high-pressure environment of the city. Even though the village lacked many of the conveniences and materialistic items that are common in urban areas, such as central air conditioning or large grocery stores, I found myself feeling genuinely more happier and more content. In America, there was always a sense of urgency and the need to constantly seek more. For instance, more possessions and more achievements. In the village, however, I learned to appreciate the simple things in life. There were no immediate rushes or pressing deadlines looming over me. Instead, life was about enjoying the present moment and making the most out of what we had. So, as my life hiatus here in Africa is coming to an end and I am making my way back to life in America, I remember to hold these lessons in my heart and to live by them no matter where I am in the world. I hope these lessons resonate with you and inspire you to embrace a slower, more intentional way of living. Remember, it's not about where you live, but how you choose to live your life.